Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land. Sorry.
One of the most iconic and endearing movies ever to come out of Hollywood, of course, has to be The Wizard of Oz, which is from the book written by L. Frank Baum. We are going to not quite the Emerald City, although it looks pretty close. We're going to the All Things Oz Museum in Chittenango, New York. And coming up on June 5th, 6th, and 7th, they're having their Oz-Stravaganza. My guest today is museum manager Allison Lehr. Oh, Allison.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it is great to see you. Let me just tell folks, about a month or two ago, I took my family to the museum, just kind of on a whim day trip thing.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to have you as our guide to show us around. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time. We're all big Wizard of Oz fans. And we had a great, and I thought, people have to find out more about this, especially folks down, where we are in the southern tier. So
yeah,
that's
we're kind of a hidden gem.
You are a hidden gem, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But first, tell me about yourself and how you became involved in all things Oz.
So I'll try to keep it brief. Basically, I have always been in love with the land of Oz as a whole. I think my obsession started around 2 years old, and that sort of led me into working in the theater. So I was working in a lot of the different theaters in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Which then kind of led me to comic book conventions. And I was working a show in Detroit, and I saw a gentleman with some Oz-themed comics that were out, and I thought, well, this kind of looks interesting. I ended up picking them up, and another one of my comic book author friends happened to be doing a 3-issue story arc that was specifically on the flying monkeys. So nice. I told him, I said, I'm going to just make this costume. I'm going to come hang out with you while you're doing your autograph signing. And long story short, the pictures got back to the main author, and he said, we need to have you as our actor. So I've been working with Tom Hutchison, the author of Legend of Oz, The Wicked West, for several years now. That is the longest running Oz themed comic. And I started coming to the festival with him in 2017. And then in late 2022, the museum posted that they were looking for a manager. And I kind of jokingly said that I was going to apply, and jokingly they said I was hired. And then actually we did go through a series of interviews, but it ended up being a really good fit. So I came here January of 2023.
So the question is, and I know the answer, why Chittenango, New York?
Why Chittenango? We are the birthplace of L. Frank Baum, Lyman Frank Baum, who is the author of Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yes, and he grew up there, and the museum. And first, let me backtrack, because you talked about becoming infatuated with the movie about 2 years old. I remember back in the day, and I'm older than you, we had like 3 TV networks.
Yeah.
And every year, The Wizard of Oz would be shown. And
television.
The next day, everybody in my class was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody, it was an event whenever that was on TV.
Yes.
And today, of course, we have a lot more options. And but I still think that a lot of our kids are really discovering that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny because there are multiple generations of us who, like, that was when you watched it, was the family viewing. And that was people's opportunity to stay up late,
Right.
So it was a big event for the family. I personally started, my experience was like the 50th anniversary VHS tape that I would just watch over and over. But just, I think as media has changed, obviously the accessibility to these materials has changed a little bit. And that's been good and bad, because I think that kids today don't get that super exciting experience, that becomes a family ritual type thing. So yeah, I think there are a lot of kids now who are just learning about the Wizard of Oz because of Wicked. So it's really good that this is a story that applies to so many people, that resonates with so many people because it really stands the test of time and it keeps evolving with the new generations.
And let me just tell people too, the name of the museum is All Things Oz. It's not just the Wizard of Oz.
Nope,
We're talking Wicked
things.
and all the offshoots, some of which the Return to Oz, the terrifying one, which I love. Oh, by the way, I saw it was Fairuza Balk's birthday.
It is Fairuza Balk's birthday today. Yes.
And Oz, the Great and Powerful, which is another great.
Which I'm noticing the China doll behind you there.
We love China doll, yeah. But there's so many stories. Now, Frank Baum wrote a lot more than just one book, didn't he?
He did. He wrote 14 books, actually. And that is sort of just the beginning of the story. So Frank started it. He really had no intention of writing sequels, but he was constantly getting so much fan mail from children that, and his main joy in life was making kids happy. So he continued the series and wrote 14 books. But then even after he passed away, a woman named Ruth Plumley Thompson took over writing. She wrote 19 books. Then it filtered through illustrators becoming authors for several years. The last official book was published in 1963, and there are 40 total.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The museum, of course, in Chittenango houses a remarkable collection. What are some of the jaw-dropping pieces that you have on display?
I think it depends on who you are and what you're interested in. I personally am absolutely in love with our first edition First State of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So this is 126 years old now. Our copy is extra special, came directly from L. Frank Baum's great-grandson, Bob.
Wow.
Bob he's been so wonderful to us. He gave us a lot of different items, but, this is obviously such a special piece because of the age, but the fact that it came from a Baum means a little more, I think. But we've got things like the Cowardly Lion costume worn in the 1975 Broadway production of The Wiz. Ted Ross wore that. We've got a Madame Morrible dress from Wicked that was worn by legendary actress Patty Duke in the San Francisco productions. We've got a couple of Shiz University costumes and prop trunks directly from Universal Pictures. So those were used in Wicked and Wicked for Good. We've got signed checks from Judy Garland, Jack Haley. We've got autographs from all of the main cast. Just a lot of really unique pieces, a lot of costuming from different films, After the Wizard, Muppets Wizard of Oz, Ozland, and then a ton of new things that will be debuted actually June 5th, 6th, and 7th.
When we were there, you guys were unpacking some things and getting some things ready. How exciting is that?
It's so much fun. It's kind of like having Christmas all the time.
Right.
Because we're constantly getting new pieces and you really never know what it's going to be or what condition it's going to be in. Some people are just bringing things from their personal collection, but then we work with a lot of larger organizations or directly with directors or producers of films to get some of those pieces. So it's always an adventure. We're always acquiring new pieces. And I think it's really interesting for the people who come into the museum as well, because we're trying to constantly keep it fresh for them.
We're talking to Allison Lehr, the museum manager at All Things Oz in Chittenango. Just a short drive from anybody listening to this right now, and we'd love to have you visit and check it out. A great time to visit would be coming up, right?
Yes.
It's the 49th annual
49th
festival.
Annual, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes, we're so close. Next year's big year 50, but we're very, very excited for the 49th annual. I feel like it gets larger every year. We get about 30,000 people in that 3-day period, so it's a huge event. It's I believe the second largest event in Madison County, and the other one is like a week long. So we do pretty well. We've got all kinds of different things. We've fireworks Friday night, rides, live music, vendors, food trucks. So pretty much anything that you might want to do, you can sort of find it all in one spot during this weekend.
We're talking about June 5th, 6th, and 7th, the Oz-Stravaganza. And how do people attend? Do they have to get tickets? Can they just show up?
They
What's the
do
deal?
not. They can just show up. It is a completely free event, completely free parking. So really the only thing that you would be paying for is whatever you purchased
Okay.
during that weekend. So if you got something either at the silent auction or you wanted to ride some of the rides, any of that you are going to pay for. However, the event itself is free. Parking, like I said, is free. We even have a shuttle that runs from the local high school either to the museum or to the main park, and that's all free. So, yeah, a lot of really great stuff. Free programming. We have after hours programming with some of our special guests. That is also free. And it's pretty unique. I think that we offer a lot of different things, and obviously it's a good price point. And then if you also would like to come to the museum, that is your $12 admission.
Sure.
But we do the hour guided tour. We're doing tours actually every hour on the hour just because we have so many people who come through that weekend. But other than museum admission and any of your purchases, everything else is free.
Talking to Allison Lehr, the 49th annual festival, Oz-Stravaganza, coming up now. Spill the beans, Allison. Who are some of the special guests coming?
Special guests. Okay. So we have a very, very special gal by the name of Gita Dorothy Morena. Dorothy, or Gita, so she goes by Gita. It's actually Sanskrit for song. And she is Baum's great-granddaughter.
Wow.
Yeah, she's just absolutely lovely, keeping the Baum legacy alive. She's also a Jungian psychotherapist who specializes in sand play. So she has kind of written her experience and her findings on how Oz resonates with all of us. They have the characters from the movie have sort of become archetypes that a lot of people tend to gravitate toward. So we're really excited to have her here again.
Now you're getting deep on me, Allison.
I know. Yeah, I started school as a psych major. So.
There you go.
We have Hugh Gross, who is the director of a film called After the Wizard, and we are really excited to have him. We'll be doing some Q&A sessions with him and a live screening of the movie on Thursday. John Fricke, who has been coming here every year since 1990. He is our MC and special guest. We absolutely adore him. He is the world's preeminent Oz historian, the guy who knows everything there is to know about the world of Oz. And of course, our really big name guest this year is Marissa Bodie, who played Nessarose in the new Wicked films.
How cool is that?
Yes, we're really pumped for that one.
Now, when will she be there, and will people get a chance to see her?
So she will only be here on Saturday.
Okay.
And she will be in the parade. But we also have a live Q&A session with Marissa and John Fricke at the high school on Saturday evening. That is at 6:30. Doors will open at 6. So that's just going to be a first come, first serve since it is a free event. But we also have some members only events too. So for anybody who wants those really special events, you're going to want to get your membership.
Is it too late? You can get a membership still?
You can still get it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right on the website.
I know in the past you've had Munchkins and other folks that were involved directly with the 1939 film.
Yes.
Are there any of those folks left anymore?
Well, it's interesting that you ask. One of the two surviving members of the cast just celebrated her 107th birthday on April 6th. Yeah, Karen Marshall. She was one of Judy Garland's stand-ins for the film. And we love Karen. She came here for many, many years. And her son actually was kind enough to send us they made little sort of coaster tiles for her birthday celebration this year. And they sent one to us so that we could put it in her exhibit here. But she's just an incredible, incredible woman, still going strong at 107 years old. There also is another of the children actors, the child actors who played a Munchkin. We called them Munch Kids. So there are a couple left.
Fantastic. It's going to be a great event. It's June 5th through the 7th. Folks, try to make it. If you can't make it that weekend, at least get up and visit All Things Oz in Chittenango. If you're a fan of the movie like me or any of the movies, it's such an interesting and fascinating time to be. And anything else we need to know about the festival?
Well, I mean, when you come into town, if you're able to make it that weekend, it's not just things to see, things to buy. There are also plenty of ways that you can get involved. So I did mention we've got fireworks Friday night. Saturday, we have the Munchkin Mile fun run for kids. So the kids can get up and they can do a whole run and, get their awards and everything. We've got our costume contest on Saturday. There are a ton of different award categories. So if you want to do a group, if you want to do youth, if you want to do, if there is an adult who wants to do it, a lot of different categories and a lot of different prizes. And anybody who enters the costume contest can actually walk in the parade that we have that day, too.
When is the parade?
Parade is at 2:00 on Saturday, and that's always a huge event. Whether you're participating in it or if you're watching it, it's always very, very entertaining. Saturday, of course, or Sunday, we have a grand finale, and that kind of just brings all the guests back together. So yeah, we've got a lot of different events. Each day we have a silent auction. So every day it's different items. Some of those will be Oz themed. Some of them will just be, gift certificates to wineries or spa or things like that. So definitely check out all of those things when you're here in town, and hopefully come to the museum because, I like to think that our tours are pretty great. Not to mention we will have a lot of new items. I think I can hint at those at this point.
Go for it.
We do have a dress worn by Judy Garland, actually owned by Judy. It was in her closet when she passed. So that is something that we will be unveiling Friday morning. We've got a couple costumes from the Donnie and Marie show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the connection?
They did a sketch comedy called The Wizard of Osmond.
Oh, that's right. I'm friends with Maria, actually. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How funny.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Well, maybe we'll have to talk after this.
We can do that.
Yeah, so the Wizard of Osmond, and Marie was Dorothy. Donnie was the wizard.
I remember that now.
Of course, Ray Bolger made an appearance. He came back and played the Scarecrow on that. I believe Lucille Ball was in that episode. But we got a couple of the Munchkin costumes from that will be going up on exhibit. And a ton of new pieces, including the 2 costumes from the film Ozland that will be getting debuted. So, lots and lots of new things. Our Sphere exhibit is completely new right now. So, even if
that's got to be amazing for people that don't know what we're talking about. You went out to see that, didn't you? It's really interesting.
Yes, I did. It's a fully immersive experience. So, if you can go, it's on the more expensive side. But if you can go, it's unforgettable.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Of course.
On the web, where should people go if they need to find out everything they need to know?
Just go to allthingsoz.org. That will take you really everywhere that you need to be, whether you want to look at Oz-Stravaganza information, donation information, or memberships.
There you go, folks. So just follow the Yellow Brick Road or the New York State Thruway, whatever gets you there. It's happening June 5th through the 7th in Chittenango, New York. Allison, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It really was no miracle. What happened was just this. The wind began to switch, the house to pitch, and suddenly the hinges started to... let's start again. That was a bad start. I'm sorry, George.
2022.